Welcome to day 5 of the spring seasonal reset video series. I'm super excited to share this with you. Today we are wrapping up the series with the whole pulling it all together piece. We're going to create your action plan for the next 90 days. And I'm going to show you how to blend both the head and the heart, your brain and your intuition together to make a super powerful action plan so that you can totally rock the next 90 days. So if you're interested in hearing about that, stay tuned and I will tell you my 3 top ways to make that happen. So super excited that you're here to do day 5 with me of this spring seasonal reset challenge or video series. It's been an awesome 5 days. I'm so excited to go through this process with each of you. I know I've done this in the past, previously in this community, but many of you are new here. And so I thought it would be fun to do this again. Every year it's a little bit different. And so today we're going to be talking about how to bring all of the pieces together to create an incredibly powerful and inspiring and aligned action plan. So if you've missed any of the days, I'm going to link them all below here so you can check it out. I'll probably even put a playlist on my YouTube channel if you want to look at it there. And if you don't have the workbook yet, you can download that. I'll link that below as well. So you can go through the questions together, or if you just want to jot them in your own journal, feel free to do that too. So I'll put all of that information below in the comments. So I want to jump right in. So we've talked about how to align with your vision, your goals for the next 90 days, how to pause, recharge, up level. And today now we're bringing it all together so that you can have a super powerful action plan. And I'm super excited to bring this together with you. So the first step is around the action steps. This is kind of the logic, the brain piece, the left side of the brain, however you want to describe it, where you're going to look at the actual action steps. So if you think about where you want to be 90 days from now, 3 months from now, at the end of the spring season, wherever you want to mark it, you know, depending on when you're starting this series with me, what do you want to be celebrating? What do you want to be kind of walking away with? And then what would be even better? So I would highly encourage you to think about, you know, kind of that would be good, better, and best, and aim for the best. What would be the best outcome to come away with 90 days from now? And then work backwards from that. So if, I don't know, what would be a good example? I'd love to hear your examples below. So for me, one of them will be that I want to be walking daily for an hour around the loop here at my house. So it probably wouldn't be every day at home. I'd like to go other places, but let's say 5 days a week would be awesome. I'd love to be walking 5 days a week for an hour every day. I haven't been over the winter because it's just drizzly and cold and miserable here. I've been walking a little bit, but not that much. So this is an easy example. Yours may be more complicated, might be more work related, but to give you an example. So if I want to be walking for an hour, 5 days a week, right now I've been doing two days a week. I'd like to get to 3 days a week for 30 minutes. So that's going to be my first goal. And then what I might end up doing is adding a day where I do a longer walk, and then it'll bring it into 2 days for a longer walk, and then maybe up to 3 days, and then get to the 4 days of longer walks, and then 5 days, you know, so kind of incrementally growing it in there. And so I'm just using that as an example. Maybe yours is completely different. Maybe yours is you want to be completing a project in 90 days from now, or maybe you want to be dealing with poor performance on your team, or maybe you want to have your leadership team performing at this next level. Maybe you want them to be up leveled. And so whatever it's going to be, maybe it's a personal thing that you want to work on, whatever that's going to be, I'd highly recommend looking at the personal and the professional, kind of splitting them out, maybe picking one from each. That's what I like to do. One personal, one professional kind of project or focus for a 90-day period. That's what I find is the most powerful for me. You could do more, but honestly, focusing on one kind of impactful approach will be the most, most efficient of your energy and your time versus trying to do too many and not getting any of them, if that makes sense. At the most, I would say 1 per month. So maybe 3 depending on what it is, big or small. But I'd recommend one in each aspect of your life that you're going to be really focusing on mastering over the next 90 days. So looking at what that is and then creating the action steps from it. So what is it that you want to walk away with 90 days from now? And then reverse engineer, what would you need to do in the next 1, 2, and 3 months? Then you can break it down to weekly, and then you could break it down even to daily, what that's going to look like every day. That can be huge doing that. But then I want to bring in the other half of the equation here that I find can really support that kind of logical aspect. And that's kind of the heart or the right brain kind of aspect, the intuition, the flow kind of pieces. And so I find when the two are together, that's where I find one supports the other really well. And then you can really have a much more successful, I guess, outcome on your goals versus just looking at the action, the logical kind of to-do action steps alone without this other piece. It can often fall flat. So the next piece is around, once you have the structure and you kind of have this logical progression, then looking at bringing in the intuition, your flow state as well. So maybe, for example, if I'm using the walking example, maybe it doesn't look like going out every day at 5 a.m. for a walk or every day at lunchtime for a walk, which I like routines. That really works. But when I've brought the flow state in or your intuition state in, the other day it was sunny. And so I packed up the stroller and the dog in the car, and I went and picked up my daughter and we went for a walk at daycare where there's a beautiful garden and a beautiful place to go for a walk out there versus doing it at home. And so that ended up bringing more joy and flow and enjoyment into the activity of walking regularly while going somewhere new, having a little more fun. We had a new playground we could play at, and it fit in with my life a little bit more fluidly than being in a rigid structure. But I found because I had committed to this concept of going for walks more regularly in my mind, then I kept things open to look for opportunities for that to happen. Then this other opportunity came in, which added more fun to it. And so you can see from that example that bringing that flow and intuition in, I find can really have a really satisfying feeling to achieving our goals. So when you take that idea and put it to your goals, what does that look like for you? And so that may be very different. Maybe it means you're inspired one day to call up a friend you haven't talked to in a while, and turns out they know somebody that has that skill set that will be perfect for that job that you're trying to fill. Or maybe you decide to, I don't know, go to the grocery store at a certain time and you cross paths with somebody who has exactly the right contact for you. Or these types of things can all really happen when you give that flow kind of intuition room to be also a part of your action plan. Maybe you happen to, I don't know, go to the grocery store and you stand in line and there is an article or a book that is exactly, something that aligns with what you're working on in your personal life, for example. There's a variety of different ways that this can come into play. And so it's hard to give examples without knowing what your goals are. But just generally, the idea is the action structure is there. You have the clarity of where you want to go. And then you bring this fluidity in to the whole process that allows that creativity piece to come in. And looking at how can this work and being open for the opportunities for them to come along, it can be really magical here. And so this is where things get really it's almost like things can happen. Your productivity can come to play without even trying. So you're open then to letting these opportunities come into your awareness, really. And this taps into your reticular activating system, your RAS in your brain, that looks for patterns and things. So once you've given it a little bit of a command, it will start noticing for you. Or, your subconscious piece, you have this idea that you want to create something. Maybe you want to write a book, or you have to write a report or a presentation or a speech, or, preparing for an interview, for example. And this is happening, but then if you give yourself that pause time, that reflection time, like I talked about earlier in the challenge, then your subconscious brain can work on it while you're sleeping, for example, or I don't know, going for a walk or whatever it's going to be. And it will bring it forward for you. And so this is kind of this beautiful art of productivity in a way that has ease and that unhustle energy to it. So I'm super excited to share this with you because this is such a different way of leading and living that I really want to bring to the world. I know so many high achieving leaders, you know, you have high performers in your teams at your organization, for example, and you know that they can go further and grow their skills and grow in your company into different, you know, leadership positions, for example, but you see them stuck in the weeds. This process will get them out of it. If you yourself are feeling kind of overwhelmed, like I mentioned on day one, you know, that kind of feeling like you're juggling stuff and it's all great stuff, but you know, it's kind of you're having a hard time with it. These practices that I've shared with you during this whole process will make a huge difference. And then the third point around this is really making sure that you get support with this. So whether you go through this whole process yourself and you get what you need, or you feel like you would like some personalized support with this, I would love to support you in my programs, my group program that I have coming up starting next week. Or we also have, you know, you might have somebody within your organization or your industry that could be a mentor for you, creating an accountability buddy in your leadership kind of role or somebody in your personal life, whatever it's going to be, getting support will make a huge difference. Also getting support by delegating, whether they're personal tasks or your, you know, your work tasks, your business tasks, whatever they are, not just delegating, but sharing the work so other people can grow as well will make space for you to be able to do more and think bigger and broader than you ever have before. So get accountability, partner, coach, mentor, training, inspiration regularly, all of these great things will make a difference for you. And so for those of you that are absolutely loving all this content and you want more, whether you want one-to-one private support or you're interested in kind of group support, let me know. I'll share links to my programs below. I would love to support you. And if you are somebody that needs support for your leaders in your organization, I actually have like corporate programs as well. So I'm super excited to share this with you. This is such a fun kind of reset process to go through. Even just talking about it with you all is getting me super excited. So I can't wait to hear about the changes that this creates for all of you. I know even going through the first few steps myself has already made a difference. I'm already feeling fresher and more energized for spring. And so I'm going to be also going through these processes with you even in more detail than I've shared in the videos to really set my own self up for success over the next 90 days. So I'm excited to hear how it works for you. Let me know in the comments what your goals are and how I can support you, and let's cheer each other on because this community, that's what we're here for. We're all here to exhale and thrive together. That's why you're here. And so I can't wait to see how this shows up for you over the next 90 days. And maybe we'll have to do a check-in at the end of the 90-day period and see how this reset has impacted your productivity. I think that would be fun, actually. So I've never done that before. I've always just shared the challenge and then stopped, but it would be neat to tap in and see how things went. So let me know how things go in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this challenge. If you're catching the replay and it's not spring, that's cool too. You can do this any time of the year. I like to do it spring and fall is a nice time to really tap into this stuff. So enjoy the content, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and doing this video series with me. I can't wait to do more with you all soon. And if you're looking for information on how to get more support with me, then you can check out the links below, and I'd love to serve you there. So have a great day, all the best, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.